Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Two Hands in a Radio, where we look at inexpensive shortwave radios and other stuff, because sometimes they're not shortwave at all. But you know, it's my channel and that's how we roll. So let's start off, let's start some business. That way the outrage culture can just flip out that I talk for 5 or 6 minutes and not say anything at all. Let's take care of some business. First, Chuck donated some money to the channel through PayPal. Thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it. Chuck's a long time supporter, gives almost monthly, sometimes more than once a month. And I really appreciate you, Chuck, and appreciate your friendship, too, that's developed over the years. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, and if you'd like to hear your name, there's a link down in the description box that says donations through PayPal, whatever it says. And you can click on that link and donate through PayPal. Any amount is appreciated, whether it's $1, $2, $10, $40, $45, whatever it is. However much you feel inclined to give, all that money goes to buy radios for the channel, just like this one. And it's always absolutely appreciated. It's the only way the channel keeps going. It does cost quite a bit of money to keep things going, and I know everybody yawns and thinks not. Yeah, you need to go back to math class. I could show you my credit card balance if you want. I digress. And second bit of business is a bit of wisdom. Prince said this. Actually, as I was coming out here, I had the radio at full blast. And Prince said this. I guess I should say the artist formerly known as Prince, because he's dead now. Sorry. But he said, if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy, punch a higher floor. Sums it all up. Sums it all up. Today, we are looking at the multifunctional digital MP3 radio speaker, model L-558. What's the brand name? Two hands. It is a Prunus, model L-558. This thing's actually kind of cool. It is just an FM radio. That's all it is. $21.99 on eBay. Everybody gasp and say, oh, that's too much money. Well, the Texan PL-118 is an FM only radio, and gosh, it was like $18 or $19. So this has some more features than that, which is kind of interesting. Only reason I bought it because it was red and it was Prunus, and I wanted to take a look at it. I've had good luck with the Prunus line, and I don't think this is going to disappoint. When you see, oh my golly, this has some stuff I've not seen before. So let's get into it. Let's quit stalling around and jump into the middle of it. It's a gorgeous wine color. Everybody knows I kind of partial to red. We got the radio. What do we have? We have a instruction sheet. It could be better, but it's okay. You kind of muddle through it. Then you have a multi-function cable. We have a little USB port there, mini USB, I believe it's called. I don't dare make up a name for it, because then people will get incensed that I've tried to use humor, and I should keep it more like Consumer Report, and I'm not going to do that. Mini USB, that charges the radio. They also give you this little dingle-dong, I made up another word, that you can plug into your headphone jack of like a smartphone or something, and use this as a speaker or a better speaker. Also, this full-size USB plugs into your computer, so you can charge the whole thing up. So it's kind of a multi-function cable. Kind of interesting that they would do that. But wait, it gets a lot crazier. Set the box off to the side. Here it is. And you say, well, this looks like a model L-258. Nay, nay, I say. 258 was shortwave, AM, FM. Speaker configuration was the oblong speaker was on top, round on the bottom. There goes the box. We may have some wind. Please hold. We'll weigh the box down. And when you start seeing the other stuff with this radio, you'll know it's not a 258. 5 1/4 inches long, 2.5 inches tall, and maybe an inch thick or so. Let's just think about that for a second. We are prepared. Most professionals would crack under this pressure of not being prepared. I don't. 1 inch, we'll call it that. It's got a 10-inch antenna, and kind of like the other Prunus that we've looked at. We got the old retro LED screen, the red blocky LED stuff that I kind of like. Don't know if you'll be able to see it or not on the, but you know, it's FM, so it can't be too drastic. Rubberized keypad. Again, I like this rubberized keypad. Functionality, the same thing as the other Prunuses. Is it Prunuses or Pruni or what is it? I don't know what the plural is. But the rubberized keypad, they're large. I like that. On the right-hand side, we're going to get more complicated. We have a volume wheel here. We have the charging port. We have an LED light. I don't know if anybody can see that or not. It is really kind of bright. And if you're in a dark room and turn the light on, I used it to find stuff in a drawer and whatnot. I've turned it on and just looked, and it's really kind of bright. Full-size USB port. Full-size USB port, we could play MP3s through that if we want to, but it gets better. We've got a headphone jack. I'm not sure, there is no documentation any place that says that it is a stereo headphone jack, so I'm going to guess on the not stereo. It doesn't come with headphones, so don't know how you're going to test it if they don't give you headphones. But there's that. Let's look on the bottom before we go to the other parts. On the bottom, we say, what in the world do we have here? Dual mini SD card slots. Dual. Dual slots. So now I have 3 ways to play MP3s through this thing. My mind's blown. That's all there is to it. It says in the instruction manual or sheet that you can pick which card slot you want to go to first. I haven't tried it, but I'm just reading the instructions to you, which I don't like to do sometimes, but there it is. Handy dandy wrist strap. And let's go to the back side. I don't know if I can get this open easy or not. Actually, what I had to do yesterday is I had to take a very thin screwdriver and go right in that crack there and pop this open. So you will have to take my word for it. There is 2 18650 batteries tucked in this thing. I'll say it again slower. 2, quantity of 2 18650 batteries in this thing. It weighs a ton. Battery orientation, if you're looking with the antenna on top, the battery orientation, both positives go to the right. I'd love to get that back open and show people, but it just, you've really got to pry it open, and I don't want to try to break things again. Dual 18650s, that's interesting. The instructions say that it will run longer than 10 hours. I'd say so. I'm no doubt about that. Nothing on the left-hand side. We're back to the front. Now, what's interesting with this is there is no tuning wheel. And you say, 2 hands, there's no tuning wheel. Like the other one, there's no tuning wheel. What do we do? Not to fear. You do have direct entry. You could do that. Or, since it's FM only, let's just let the scan find our FM stations. They'll lock into a permanent memory and just be done with it. If you take it to a new town, you can hit the scan button, find your FM stations, and be happy that way. You could direct entry, 1073 or whatever, and you wait a second and it locks into wherever it's at. You could do that. So it's not all hopeless. Is it the greatest tuning system? Hang on, because there's another one that gets a little more quirky than that. But it's not all bad, really. Let's start with the MP3 stuff first. The audio is probably the biggest star of this radio. On top, we just have a simple on-off switch. You can see there. We'll turn it on. We'll let it rip. Great audio, sort of. Switch is kind of crackly. Ah, well. That'll probably liven up with use as we keep going. Kind of get the crackles out of it. And you can play, pause, fast forward, go back, whatever you want to do. You've heard all these before, you don't need my commentary. Okay, I think I've heard those before too. Let's turn it off before we rip that out of there. Don't want to take that thumb drive out while it's hot. That would be interesting. Might screw it up. I don't know if it would or not. Don't care. So what I did earlier is I came out here while I set everything up. I just hit the scan button, let it scan, because I don't want to bore people with that all to death. But what it does is it just goes through, it finds something, locks it into memory. I think that it errs way on the easy side of things, and what I mean by that is it goes along and it's not sure if it's a good station or not, can't pull it in very strong, it locks it in anyway and lets you decide instead of skipping everything but the local stations. And so I'd rather have this way than the other. I know probably none of that made sense, but you know, that's the story of my channel. All you do to go, it's set for FM, you can go auxiliary, you can go into the auxiliary here. Oh, your charging port is also an auxiliary port. When you put it in auxiliary, you put it here in auxiliary, you could run that over to anything and use this as a speaker. So that's kind of interesting. And then we go back to FM. If we had cards installed, it would jump to a pick one slot or the other. Anyway, they do talk about human induction in the directions. I've never heard that term used in directions before, but it says that when you hold it, you can help the reception or you can hurt the reception. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. Anyway, so you're here, 87.7. All you do is you just click a button and you go to the next station that it finds.
Let's see, 812-373-9947, 812-373.
And I don't want to, I do need, I'm sure everybody's seen all the copyright stuff and everything going on YouTube. I don't want to linger around music very long at all, just because. And there's our friendly black-headed vulture. The farmer warned me about the black-headed vulture yesterday, or the other day. He said that if they have a red head, that's no problem. If they have a black head, they're more aggressive. And they try to kill things instead of just red-headed ones just pick up dead stuff and eat the dead stuff. The black-headed ones actually try to kill things, and he is actually staring right at me. This is exciting. So if I die, it's dedication. That's all I can say.
Oh, okay. So Brian Free, blue.
Why they should keep people locked up other than
We'll
punish them, other than
come through.
deter them from pursuing their claim.
It's not terrible. It found 60 some FM stations, but like there, it picked that up and there's nothing there. So it really errs way out there. Bastard's still looking at me.
Want to hear some bluegrass?
Okay.
Tell me.
I think you're getting the idea. I mean, we're only 19 stations at 93.7.
Come on, $6 down? Have you lost your top? Yep.
Ooh, don't do that.
Drop at Ray Skillman Chevrolet.
Get where you going.
Boston.
I guess YouTube has an algorithm now that if they can identify a song, that they'll just block the video and that's the end of it. It's kind of a pain in the ass if you put a lot of time and effort into making said video to have it blocked over. I think a lot of this could be fair use, that it's just educational. You're doing a review for a radio or whatever, and if Journey or Def Leppard has to be on the radio at the time, 30 seconds of it's not going to hurt anything, I don't think. But I don't know. So I'm going to flash through those really quick.
529.
It does, I mean, it obviously does really well on local stations.
Stacked up against each other as the most popular holiday celebrities. And
it kind of takes on 66 and 67 if it's strong enough. Why it counts them as two almost. Anyway. Well, that's just a quick look at it. The Model L-558. What do I think of the Model L-558? Is that what it is? Yeah. The Prunus L-558. What do I think? I think it's kind of cool. I like the dual batteries. That's craziness. Adds a lot of weight to it. It will not tip over. Well, you gotta force it to. But it won't blow over as we talk or anything. It just won't fall over like others. Very well weighted. I love the look of it. Kind of the, I don't know, red color. I don't know what kind of red it is. Really pretty red, that's for sure. Love the idea of the dual slot, actually the 3 slots for MP3. I mean, this is more of an MP3, go from your phone, plug your phone into this and use this as a speaker. And of course it's labeled as a multi-function radio speaker. So speaker quality is awesome. The sound is great. FM, of course it's got a little light on the antenna. Only 10 inches, needs a little extra almost. But not much for FM. You don't want to get too carried away or things will get haywire. And then you just turn it into all gobbledygoo and that'll be it. Got a light on there that's very usable. You can hang this up from a tree limb. You could just hang it up and just let it play, whatever. Not all bad. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, leave your civil comments below. in the little boxes down there underneath the description box. You can leave comments. Apologize about the wind here that just started up. That's interesting. And I think that's all I got. Prunus L-558, kind of cool. And we'll see you at the next review.